How's it going, guys? This is Bomker Plow back for another video on Love Ribbon. We're continuing it once more. Things got pretty heated last episode. Well, I wouldn't say so much as heated, more so as just awkwardness, embarrassment, and some unknown feelings. So let's just get right back into it. At school, nothing I did could shake the mental image of Zoe's body from my mind. Math equations, English essays, even almost tripping and falling down the steps didn't take my mind off her. Uh, are you okay? Huh? My surroundings slowly fade in as I look up. The confused faces of my classmates in the real world greet me. You've been really out of it today. I just asked you something, like twice now. I'm fine. My classmates exchange quick glances. That response sounds fake even to my ears. I'm sorry. I'm just a little tired, that's all. My classmates nod, turning around in their seats and seeming to forget whatever it was they wanted earlier. I sigh and sink back into my own seat. The only thing I wanted was to see Zoe again. So I passed what felt like the longest day of my life just thinking unendingly of my sister. This makes no sense. How can x be 3? If y is 10 and z is pi over 2, then x should be... I tap my pen on my notebook as math problems stare at me from every angle. For every question I finish, 10 more take its place. I start to feel like I'll never finish. Ugh, there's still so much work to do. Have I been spending so much time around Zoe that I've forgotten how to study? No, you can't blame this on Zoe. It's your own fault for slacking off. Come on, Iris. If y is 10 and z is pi over 2, then x should be 5. I still can't see how x can be anything other than 5. I turn to the back of the textbooks to check the answer once more. No matter how many times I check, the answer is still 3. Oh, come on. Am I going crazy or is this book wrong? Sigh. I need a break. I push my book aside and cross my arms on my desk. I rest my head on my arms and close my eyes, slowing my breath as I do. I guess an hour or two of studying each night just isn't enough. Maybe I should start revising before school each morning as well. Zoe would probably make me Zoe would probably make fun of me for being such a nerd, but at least I'd keep my scholarship. I begin to think about Zoe. Despite never studying, at least to my knowledge, her grades aren't bad at all. I, on the other hand, study every night, and still my grade in math is somehow lower than hers. How does she do it? Oh, Zoe, where are you? You don't have a show tonight. You don't have a show tonight, do you? After school, I waited almost 30 minutes to catch Zoe leaving, but to no avail. I could have sworn she would be home tonight. Once I've begun to think about Zoe, I can't stop. I miss her. I want her to be here, right beside me, making fun of me or complaining about my whining. I want to talk with her about nothing, and to have a deep conversation about nothing. I want to laugh with her, joke around about stupid things that happen at school, and forget about everyone else as we simply enjoy one another's company. Zoe, why do I miss you so much? We only parted ways a few hours ago. I shouldn't be this lonely. And yet, every time I think about you, suddenly a vivid recollection enters my mind. Zoe's beautiful, lean body, wrapped in her mismatched panties and bra. Her flawless rear sticking up as she bends over to fish her shirt out of the dryer. The moment when we almost kissed. The moment when I began to question every facet of our relationship. The moment when I dared to think about my sister as something other than a sister. Dot dot dot. This isn't good. If you don't get home soon, Zoe, your sister's going to do something drastic. I lift my head and look around. Zoe is still nowhere to be seen. I cannot see or hear another person in my home. But what I can see is my computer. Dot dot dot. No, I really shouldn't. Oh? What is she thinking about? I need to study. I can't look at something like that. That would be irresponsible. Oh, she is. She's thinking about it. Dot dot dot. Despite my rationalizing, I don't hesitate to turn on my computer. Oh my god. She's gonna do it. The screen quickly turns on as it wakes up, and the moment my mouse appears on the desktop, I get to action. Just Just a little bit is okay, isn't it? And it's not like I'm doing this because I want to. Don't go all tsundere on me now. Just do it. I need to do this. It's to understand my feelings better. I open up the web browser and tried a couple of generic terms into the images section of the search engine. Seeing results completely unrelated to my query, I disabled the safe search filter and try again. There we go. That did... Whoa. Before I even realize what I've just done, my screen is flooded. Naked women are sprawled across every inch of the browser window, assuming all kinds of provocative poses. I, I know I should have expected this, but it's still a bit, my face heats up as I think about the material I'm searching for. No, I can't get flustered over this much. If I'm going to understand what I've been thinking, I need to go deeper. I hesitantly clear my search and try again, this time using more crass terminology. Oh, my screen is once again flooded with naked women. However, each one of them is now paired with a partner. The women, mostly in their 20s, are all naked and rubbing up against one another. Some are posing together, others are undressing one another, and a few have their hands in... Wah, wah, wah! This is too much. I shouldn't be looking at this. Zoey wouldn't look at this stuff either, right? There's no way she would. I turn away, only to then realize that nobody else is here with me. I'm alone. The women in front of me are just pictures. There's nobody from whom I should be hiding my face. Then again, I've already come this far. I should see this through. That would be the adult thing to do, right? I pick an image at random and click on it. A new window expands, filling the whole screen. Embedded on it is a video player with a thumbnail matching the image I just clicked on. I nervously click on the play button and the video begins. Two women are intertwined immediately as the video begins, halfway through their act of debauchery. They both have their legs wrapped around one another, and their crotches are touching directly, without a single layer of clothing between them. Oh gosh, this is... I hide my face behind my hands, slowly opening my fingers as I dare to catch a glimpse. The two women continue without any regard for my situation. They moan as wildly as they thrust, exhibiting animal-like lust as though their lives depend on it. A few seconds later, they stop. The video has paused and my hands are no longer covering my face. That was too intense. Maybe I should start with something more tame. I return to the previous page and refine my search. This time around, I'm presented with images of girls only a year or two older than I am, all in various states of undress. I hold my breath and click on the first image that catches my attention. Okay, this isn't so bad. I can cope with this. On the screen is a video of a girl masturbating. She's alone, and the video begins as she rubs herself with her clothes still on. The girl steadily takes off more and more of her clothing, occasionally adjusting the camera as she does so. Her long, soft black hair frames her lithe body. I notice minor similarities to a certain sister of mine, feeling a rush of excitement in response. Oh. Within minutes, she is completely naked. The camera is zoomed in on her vagina, which is being rubbed directly by her slender fingers. This is definitely won't get monetized for this for sure. Her speed gradually increases as her fluid begins to leak out. The girl's soft moans overlap with the sound of her wet fingers rubbing against her. Oh boy, I saw this coming. I lean forward, and before I realize it, I begin to emulate what I'm watching. With my clothes still on, I move my left hand lower. I gently rub myself through my panties and suppress a weak moan of pleasure. My right hand finds its way to my chest. I lightly squeeze my right breast without slowing my left hand in the slightest. Ha, ha, oh my god. This is wrong, but... Ha! I hasten my movements and try to match my speed to the girl on my monitor. By now she is moaning loudly, trying to muffle her voice with the pillow as she moves her fingers frantically. Her legs spasm and she knocks over the camera she's using to film herself. Even then, she continues unabated. Her hips are raised off the ground as she begins to gyrate towards the camera. I don't even think about my own hands anymore. My entire body is shaking in ecstasy as I feel the combined pleasure of my own body and that of the girl on screen. My panties are sopping wet, and I almost fall off my chair as I try to adjust my position. Gah. The unplanned movement causes my left hand to push against my clit with far more vigor than expected. Exclamation point, gah! I feel both pain and pleasure as the friction pushes me over the edge. My hand and wrists are both drenched in my juices, which continue to flow from my body. My lower body jerks a few more times, and at last I collapse backwards against my chair. I was not expecting something like this to happen, but I'm not complaining. I clean up the last of my mess with a red face. My panties are soaked. I've used up a handful of tissues on my poor chair, and my browser history has been forever stained. Even so, I feel good, not just because of the afterglow, but because I was able to experience what I set out to. I found a level of pornography I could stand, watched another girl masturbate, and didn't feel disgusted or dirty in the least. I actually enjoyed the experience. I derived pleasure from watching another girl feel good, and for the time being, that is enough. Okay, that should do it. Now I just need to throw these in with the rest of the laundry and I'm all set. I exit my room and head towards the bathroom. Before I can take even 2 steps away from the door, however, I notice something important. Z- Zoey? Uh, Hi. Oh boy. Oh boy. I guarantee she like opened the door and like just subtly closed it so she wouldn't hear. Oh boy. Yeah. Hi. Dot. Oh, she definitely saw. Look at the blush on her face. No, she definitely saw it. Dot dot dot. Oh my god. Well, I'm gonna get started on dinner. I'll make sure to knock on your door when it's ready. Oh, sure. Yeah. I stand frozen as think back to when I first took a break from studying. As the only person home at the time, I didn't feel the need to close my door, let alone lock it. Oh, so it's just open. Okay. Furthermore, I was just studying. I had nothing to hide. Unfortunately, once I turned on my computer, I completely forgot about that. With the volume on my computer turned up and my door ajar, I had done something shameful without any awareness whatsoever for my surroundings. In short, she she saw. Oh boy. Zoe saw me doing that. My legs buckle and I find myself sitting on the floor with my soaked panties clutched in my hand. Caught by my own little sister. Just kill me now. Thankfully, in the days since that time, Zoe hadn't mentioned a single word about that night. If anything, she'd been friendlier than usual, suggesting things we could eat together or movies to watch. It was nice to have such a calm weekend with her, but unfortunately, weekends don't last forever. I slump down at my desk as another lesson reaches its conclusion. Though my mind is willing, my body is tired. I'm finding it hard to concentrate as my empty stomach continues to pester me. So hungry. But I don't have the energy to head to the cafeteria right now. Why didn't I just pack myself lunch? As that complaint leaves my mouth, a lunch bag enters my field of vision. It's heavy, and the person delivering it to me sighs while smiling. You really are hopeless. How will you become an independent woman if you can't even feed yourself? Zoe! I fling out my arms towards Zoe without raising my head from my desk. So tell me, Iris, what do I get in return for in-class delivery? I don't offer this service to just anybody, you know. Uh? It isn't free? Of course not. I'd go out of business in no time if I didn't charge. Zoe puffs out of her chest and smirks. Hmm. A reward, huh? That's right. What's your offer? Hmm. I stretch my arms out towards Zoe. How about a big hug? Yeah, I don't think so. You're going to have to do a little better than that. Humph. I should have known you wouldn't be so easy to barter with. Change my vocal inflections to that of an old West de, de, debutante. I fan myself dramatically. All right, I'll sweeten the deal, sugar. Bring your face a little closer and I'll throw in a free smooch. Oh, and I don't offer this service to just anybody, you know. Zoe and I both chuckle at my remark. You drive a hard bargain, Iris, especially considering I can't receive immediate payment. I'm nothing if not shrewd. So where do you want it? On the cheek? On your neck? On the lips, obviously. Ah, you greedy girl. I should have known. I hope you brought something good in return. Of course. Zoe unwraps the box in front of me. Oh, sandwiches. Mm-hmm. Enough for two. Yay, I love you, Zoe. Come over here and accept your payment. I pucker my lips and start making kissing sounds with my mouth. Zoe laughs, swatting away my attempts to grab her. Whoa, you two don't hold anything back, do you? I follow Zoe's gaze as a girl from my class walks over. Aren't you embarrassed, flirting so much in front of everybody? Well, nope. Everybody knows. Everybody, everybody needs to know that Zoe is all mine, and I wouldn't give her up for the world. I playfully swing my arms and legs forward as I giggle to myself. Gosh, you really are brazen. How long have you two been dating away anyway? Dating? I tilt my head and look up at the girl. We aren't dating. Seriously? Uh-huh. I guess it would be kind of weird for sisters to date. As I thoughtlessly utter those words, the girl next to me opens her eyes wide. She takes a step back and stares at me, then at Zoe as if she can't believe what she's just heard. You two are sisters? Hmm? Yeah, that's right. And and you kiss and stuff? Eh? No, that's. The girl takes another step backward. No, it isn't like that. That was just a joke. Tell her it was just a joke, Zoe. Dot 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 dot. Zoe? Zoe turns away, offering me no assistance. I I see. Two girls being together is one thing, but a pair of sisters is a bit. In the same manner as Zoe, the girl looks away, albeit with an expression of disgust rather than embarrassment. Hey, I'm telling you that was just a joke. Zoe and I aren't like that. So, you two haven't kissed? No, of course we. I start out strong, but as the notion of Zoe and I kissing comes to mind, so does a vivid memory of the night on which we almost did just that. My face quickly heats up, and I am unable to complete my sentence. Well, I guess there are all kinds of people in the world, or something like that. Though I never thought I'd meet any of them. The girl quickly leaves the classroom without another word. I can hear a couple of my classmates whispering, though thankfully the classroom is mostly empty. Of those remaining, however, my attention belongs first and foremost to the girl right in front of me. Zoe. Zoe slowly turns her face towards me. She still seems to be a bit embarrassed, and I almost hesitate to continue. Zoe, why did you suddenly go silent? Now people are going to get the wrong idea about us. Dot dot dot. Zoe shrugs, scrunches her lips up slightly, then opens her mouth. However, even as she does, no words come out. In the same manner as the girl who approached us moments ago, Zoe turns around and heads towards the door, leaving without saying another word. Oh, now I don't even feel like eating. After watching Zoe silently storm out of the classroom during lunch, I spend my remaining time at school worrying about her. I couldn't help but feel a little down after lunch. It was a grim reminder of the fact that we're sisters, that we're not two girls who can simply date. So after racking my brains unsuccessfully for the rest of the day and failing to locate Zoe at school, I decide to confront her at home. Dot dot dot. Zoe, are you here? I call out as I return home. The room is empty, but I can hear movement further inside. One sec. Zoe emerges with a stack of paper in her hands. She places the paper on the dining table and walks over to me. Zoe. Hmm? What is it? Zoe replies in her usual manner, not showing an ounce of annoyance or sadness. Zoe, Did I say something wrong? Are you mad at me? Mad at you? Why would you think that? If I were mad at you, you would know about it. Yeah, I guess, but the way you left the classroom so suddenly, and without saying a word. I could understand if lunch were almost over, or you said you had something to do, but you left so suddenly and you looked troubled. So, was it something I said? No, that's. Zoe looks away. Please, if I did something wrong, tell me. I don't like to see you like this, and I don't want to cause you any unnecessary pain. But if you don't tell me what I did wrong, then. Zoe sighs and shakes her head. You didn't do anything wrong, and you have nothing to apologize for. I just had something I needed to do. Really? Zoe unconsciously glances towards the stack of papers she put down. I walk over to the table and grab the top sheet. Zoe reaches out to stop me, but then retracts her hand, allowing me to take it without a fight. Is this what you needed to do? Yeah, you could say that. I start to read the paper. Let's see here. Our latest test kit is a DIY solution for the diagnosis of biological comparison of deocrab. Dot dot dot. I feel my head going around in circles as many complicated terms stare me in the face. If I told you this was research on DNA testing, would that make it? Would that make things clearer? DNA testing? Oh, you mean like finding hereditary diseases and stuff? Yeah, like that. Oh, I think I know what she's doing. Ahaha, I get it now. Biology isn't my strong suit, but even I know a little bit about genetic testing. I know what she's doing. I put the paper down and turned towards Zoey. So, is this for an assignment or something? I may not be all that knowledgeable on the subject, but if you need help, you can count on me. No, it's not for an assignment. Yeah, it's not for an assignment. It's a purse. It's a. Oh, so you're doing this out of personal interest? If you're worried about hereditary diseases, it would probably be quicker to ask our parents. We can phone them up right now and no, don't do that. Zoey grabs my wrist as I reach for my phone. Zoey? You can't ask them. You can't say a word to them about this. Zoey stares into my eyes with the deathly serious gaze. Zoey, you're hurting me. Ah. Zoey quickly releases my wrist. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Hmm, I know. Zoey glances down at our feet, visibly distraught. I sense that there's something she isn't telling me. Zoey, what is this about? I won't push if you don't want to tell me, and I don't intend to pry. But even if it's something you can't tell our parents about, you can still confide in me, you know? I lean forward, forcing my way into Zoey's field of vision, and smile at her. Zoey pulls back in surprise and quickly regains her cool. After a few moments of silence, she returns my smile with one of her own, sighing yet again as she does. Honestly, it's because you're like this that I'm going through so much trouble to begin with. I pull back and Zoey wipes the smile from her face. She stares at me with a serious gaze once more, as though she's about to tell me something very important. Iris, this research I've been doing has a practical application. It's not about fighting hereditary diseases for me. This is a means to an end. Zoey stops talking and takes a deep breath. Iris, the truth is. Oh? Oh? Oh, please? I don't think we're related. Oh. Oh, you're gonna just. We're not related? I stare at Zoey blankly, trying to process what she's telling me. Her words are completely unexpected, and for a moment I simply freeze. Haha, what are you talking about? That's a pretty harsh joke. Even your kind of older sister has her limits, you know. It's not a joke. We look, sound, and act nothing alike. Furthermore, our parents divorced shortly before I was born. Did our parents separate because our mother had an affair? Did she skip the country to avoid accusations? No, maybe she isn't even my mother. Maybe I was adopted to fill the void when she was separated from me. Zoey speaks more quickly as she continues. Her tone is anxious, and I can tell how much she's been thinking about our relation to one another. Whatever the truth may be, I cannot accept that we're sisters. Half sisters, maybe, but not full blooded sisters. My breathing becomes more shallow as I listen to Zoey. I dread to think that Zoey warming up to me was all in my head, that perhaps only I thought of our relationship as being important, or even desirable. This, what you're saying, do you really want us to not be sisters so badly? Do you hate me that much? No, it's not like that. I don't hate you, Iris. I try to, but I don't. I just want to know the truth. That's all. I sense no malice in Zoey's words. If anything, I feel a sense of unity. But there is also deceit. She's lying about merely wanting to know the truth. She wants her relationship to persist, yet she doesn't want us to be sisters. Only only one explanation comes to mind. Is this about the other night? You know, when we almost. Zoe quickly turns around. I fight the urge to do the same. It doesn't matter why, okay? The point is, I need to know if we're sisters. I need to know the truth. Zoe walks towards the table and places her hand on the stack of paper. She quickly flips through it, then presents me with a single sheet. Iris, I want you to take this test with me. We can do it anonymously, and we don't have to go anywhere. We just post two samples, one from each of us, and then wait for the results. Will you do it? I look down at the sheet in my hand, then back at Zoe. I don't know what you're hoping for exactly, and I'd be lying if I said I shared your curiosity. But if this is what you want, then I'll do it. I'll take the test with you. Oh my god. I don't know if I want them to be sisters or not. I think I'd prefer them to be sisters. That'd be pretty sad if. Ew. As another long day nears its conclusion, I stretch out my back against my chair and raise my arms, unconsciously letting out a moan. All day I've been completely devoted to my studies, lest I focus on certain other topics, and now my body and mind are both tired. Fortunately, I have only one more class to go, after which I can rest to my heart's content. Ha. Hmm? Whoa, careful there, Iris. Hmm? I turned around to see one of my classmates standing right behind me. While stretching my arms, I had pulled too far back, placing my hand an inch away from the girl's breasts. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to. Relax. Even if you had gone a little further, I wouldn't get angry over something like that. I can't say if your girlfriend would approve, though. My girlfriend? Duh, I mean Zoey. She may come off as laid back, but I didn't think that she'd appreciate us flirting behind her back. Flirting? Who's flirting? I was just stretching, that's all. The girl giggles to herself. Hee hee, I can see why Zoey likes you, Iris. You're so much fun to tease. Geez, how mean. I puff my cheeks out. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Really, you and Zoe make a cute couple. I'm not going to try to get between you. You're wrong, though, and I don't appreciate what you're when insinuating. Zoe and I are sisters, nothing more, nothing less. Ooh, ah. Wow, Well, of course not. Two sisters is just. I was just kidding about all that earlier stuff. But I'd heard other girls talking. They all think that you're a couple. Doesn't it bother you? I mean, being paired up with your own sister is kind of embarrassing. Right. Totally embarrassing. I mean, being that way with your own sister, could you even imagine? I'd seriously die. I know, it's the worst. I wish people wouldn't say things like that about us. I mean, so disgusting. We're sisters, nothing more, nothing less. Iris, you don't mean that. Totally. What do you think, Zoe? Eh? Oh my god. She was there the entire time. I turned back around towards the front of the classroom and find a new presence. Zoe is standing in front of my desk, staring at my classmate, and I bemusedly. What? What? How long has she been there? Did she come to visit me? Zoe, you don't need to explain. We're sisters, right? Nothing more, nothing less. God! Zoe glares at me as she speaks. Her words hurt more than I thought they would, and I immediately realized how painful my conversation with my classmate must have been for Zoe. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Of course we're more than just sisters. We're friends, aren't we? I look Zoe in the eye, smiling apologetically as I do. Zoe bites her lip, then sighs in resignation. Something like that. Not just something like that. You're my best friend, Zoe, and I like to think that I'm yours. If we aren't friends, then what are we? Zoe turns away with a troubled look on her face. Zoe takes a step back, away from my desk. Zoe? Zoe walks away without another word, quickly making her way to the door and leaving the classroom. I watch her receding figure with a bated breath, unable to say a word as she leaves. Wow, that was awkward. What's gone into her? You two are usually so close. Are you two fighting or something? Finally coming to my senses, I rise to my feet and leave my desk. Without saying a word, I run into the classroom door, then head down the hallway. Zoe! I soon locate Zoe, at which point I quickly call out to her. Zoe flashes a brief smile as she sees me running towards her, then reverts to the sour expression she wore while leaving the classroom. What is it? I reach Zoe's side, still puffing and panting from the sudden sprint. Zoe, I didn't mean. What I said back there. I didn't mean it, you know? If you say so. Oh my god. Zoe tries to turn away. As she does, I grab her shoulder with great strength, many times stronger than I'd usually think myself capable of. I mean, what was I supposed to say? That you think we might not really be siblings? That we got drunk and almost I'm doing the best I can, if you say so. Repeating her previous reply, Zoe once again tries to turn away. I do say so. I will continue to say so until I get through to you. Even if it turns out that we aren't siblings, I'm still going to care about you, Zoe. And if we are siblings, I'm prepared for that too. No matter what happens, I'll fight to keep our relationship the same way it is now. You really don't understand after all. Then help me to understand it. Tell me what's going through your mind, Zoe. Zoe shakes her head from side to side. Forget it. Talking about this won't do any good. Let's just wait for the results and go from there. Zoe tries to yet again to escape my grasp. This time she grabs hold of my wrist and removes my hand by force, easily overpowering her weak older sister. No, Zoe, that's ow, ow, ow. Hey, Zoe, I'm not done talking with you. Zoe! Image night can't take perimeter sky. Okay. Oh, jeez. Now, how much paprika do I need? I scroll down the internet recipe on my phone. Everything needs to be perfect, so that when Zoe comes home tonight, I'll be the one treating her to a nice dinner. After our little confrontation earlier, I want to do something nice for Zoe, but my attempt at cooking does little to take my mind off things. She's my sister, but she thinks it might not be by blood, and it's not like we grew up together. This is different. But who am I kidding? How do I know if she'd even with me that way? I stare madly at the dish, muttering to myself, but if she did, I'd. Just as I begin adding in more paprika, I hear someone fumbling from the door. My heart immediately quickens. Hey, how did everything go? Zoe sighs and shrugs off her guitar case, setting it on the ground in the entryway. I'm making dinner. I present my efforts to Zoe. Hopefully she'll be impressed. Then I can be back in her good graces. Dot dot dot. Zoe makes sure her guitar case is steadied against the wall. I hope you didn't fill up from greasy venue food tonight because I'm making a pretty mean dish here. I offer her the best smile I can muster. Zoe stares at me quiet for a moment. Then she stumbles towards me. If you add a bit of cream, they turn out fluffier. Zoe, what are you doing? Ah. She presses herself against my back, slowly sliding her hand down my arm. Startled, I almost dropped the spatula. Nervously, I try to keep my attention on the dish in front of me. Oh my god. Zoe wraps both her arms around my neck. The action surprises me, and with a jolt, I accidentally touch my finger to the side of the bubbling pan. What is happening here? Ouch! What is happening here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's fine, it just stings. Here, Zoe? I watch, transfixed, as Zoe gently guides my injured finger to her lips. My heart pounds as she lightly begins licking it. What is happening here? Is this censored? Don't you dare tell me that this is censored. Um, I read this can help small burns heal faster. Almost the entirety of Zoe's body is flush against my back. I can feel her chest move with every breath she takes. The soft fabric of my sweater is barely creating a barrier to her warmth. I'm not sure about the accuracy of that. It's probably because it's a distraction that makes it effective. A distraction. Okay. Zoe gently begins to blow into my ear. Like this? The response in my body is immediate. I almost buck against the counter, barely managing to keep my composure as Zoe hangs on to me. She's going in, dude. She's going for it. But what? Why the sudden aggressiveness? Why? Why is she? Zoe, are you drunk? Oh, that would explain. No. Zoe lowers her head down off my shoulder, almost knocking me over. She holds and steadies me to her. I may have had a few drinks out of courtesy before I left. Oh, a few, she says. I want to ask if she wants to lay down. Zoe, are you feeling alright? You should lay down or something. I feel her nod on my neck, then she pulls away. She heads towards the hallway and tugs me along with her. Best to make sure she doesn't hurt herself. She was just drunk. When we near the end of the hallway, Zoe makes a left turn. Zoe, that's my room. Mm? Zoe continues to tug me into my own room, closing the door behind us when we're inside. This is my own bedroom, but somehow the atmosphere right now is. My jacket. Help me. Zoe holds out her arms helplessly, sighing. I begin to tug off her thick jacket, which is more difficult than it should be seeing as Zoe is not helping at all. Finally, I'm able to get the jacket off her shoulders. I continue to slide the sleeves down her arms, needing to lean over Zoe as I do it. There, it's off. I feel something on my neck. I stand still momentarily in confusion from what's happening. Soft, light touches graze the skin on my neck. Something wet and small begins to lick and suck. Oh my god. Zoe. Zoe is. The realization comes at such a rush that my legs almost buckle. Oh, I can't believe Zoe is kissing my neck like this. My little sister, who is currently intoxicated. What should I do? My body feels so hot I can't bear it. Zoe has moved her kisses down my collarbone, with her hand stroking the material of my sweater. But she's not in her right state of mind. I can't let something like this. Oh, what is happening right now? I don't know if I like drunk Zoey too much. I lightly push Zoey to lie down on the bed, and she complies without resistance. Slowly, I slide into the bed myself until I'm leaning over her, my thighs on either side of Zoey's own. Zoey seems particularly keen on focusing where my sweater has dipped, revealing my bra. I said you didn't have to wear one, you know. Her hands begin to slide underneath my sweater and shirt. She awkwardly fumbles with the back of my bra. It's a frontal clasp. Oh. She falls back on the bed and stares up at me. Zoey changes tactics. Instead, pulling off her white t-shirt, there's a plain black undershirt beneath, and she's not wearing a bra underneath it. Zoey begins to slide the straps of her undershirt off her shoulders. First one, then the other, slowly revealing the smooth skin beneath. My breath hitches as I realize what I'm about to see. Oh, God. I'm leaning over my sister on my bed while she's trying to take her shirt off. And worse, I'm completely sober. I don't have any excuse for what I'm doing. And worse, I can't bring myself to stop watching. The material of Zoe's shirt falls lower and lower on her chest, so low I can just see a peek of her. What's that sound? Zoe mumbles, looking around dully. I slowly snap back to reality as a shrill beeping noise hits my ear. That's... Ack! The chicken! It's burning! Oh my god. I push off of Zoe, rushing back to the kitchen at record speed. The smoke detector is going off, and a thick smog of white smoke is filling the room. Ah! Phew. The landlady leaves her after resetting the smoke alarm, satisfied it was only burning poultry that caused it to go off. No, it's so ruined. I can probably salvage the pasta and sauce, but the chicken has got to be thrown out. It's hard as rock on one side. I glance towards the hallway as I finish up cleaning. I wonder if Zoe's no longer in my room. I look across the hall to find her bedroom door firmly shut. Ah, that's right. I was taking advantage of my sister. My my younger sister. I pushed her down on my bed and a wave of nausea washes over me, slumping against my bed. I steady myself as what I've done replays over and over in my mind. Dot dot dot. And the next morning I'm up early, or rather I wasn't able to sleep. Alright, well, that's where I'm gonna have to end the episode for today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was quite a drunk Zoe episode. But now we're gonna. I don't know when the test will come in to see if we're sisters or not. Hopefully they don't barge in the dumb, not blood related, so it's okay. If they're going this far, they better go the extra mile of saying we're blood related. Perfectly fine to still be together. Perfectly fine. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.